Hello there, welcome once again to the Public Policy Cafe. It's your host, Victor Jibril Mohammed. In our previous lesson, we talked about the various stages of the policy making process, and I told you that we are going to discuss these stages individually. But before we do that, I need to explain what a policy subsystem is, who policy actors are, what are the beliefs of policy actors, and coalitions. And then we move on to these various stages of the public policy making process. Without further delay, let's jump right in. So the first thing we are going to talk about is the policy subsystem. And I'm not going to tell you what a policy subsystem is, but I'm going to tell you what a policy subsystem comprises of. So a policy subsystem comprises of a problem or an issue that policy actors are trying to solve, and the issue obviously will have actors, or at least an actor influencing the policy goals or the policy outcome. And you have rules and regulations, both formal and informal, influencing or guiding the actions of these actors. Now, I need to tell you that the policy subsystems also intersect with each other most often. They intersect with other policy subsystems. This is because public issues are related one way or the other with other issues or other problems. So you don't have problems that are mutually exclusive, but you have issues or public issues that are interconnected one way or the other. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is actors. Now, who are actors? Actors are basically public institutions related to a particular public problem. Individuals who can be individuals that are very influential or are key in the political issue or the policy issue that we are talking about. NGOs who are interested, and we have research institutions, we have interest groups, or whatever. There are a lot. There could be more. There are more than these other types, but these are basically those you could see. Now, policy beliefs of actors are basically how actors think things should be done related to the policy, regarding who should be involved in the policy making process, what causes the problem that the policymakers are trying to solve, who caused it, how the problem should be resolved, and what have you. Now, you should know that these beliefs are formed through experience or general axioms such as religion and the values of these actors. Okay, so it could be science-based through evidence or through non-scientific axiomatic ideas or ideologies. Okay, so policy beliefs could be influenced by ideology as well. Let's talk about coalitions. We know in the subsystem we have actors who have beliefs on how things should be done. All right. Now, these actors with similar or non-contradicting beliefs and interests now come together to coordinate with each other to try to influence the policy or the policy goals. Now, when these actors align and coordinate in non-trivial ways to influence policies, we say these actors are formed coalitions. All right. So now that we know what these concepts are, let's use it to analyze the hypothetical situation here. So we have the general health policy subsystem, and within the general health subsystem we have HIV policy subsystem, we have adolescent health policy subsystem, and we have the sexual education subsystem. Now realize that all these things are within the realms of health, and one way or the other intersect or relate with each other. HIV has influence on adolescent health, and education, sexual education given to adolescents also influence or is related to HIV. Okay, so now let's enter into the sexual education subsystem. So the sexual education subsystem basically has two main policy beliefs, and this is the comprehensive sexuality education, which talks about abstinence and contraceptive use in addition to abstinence, and also talks about human rights, which obviously includes sexual minority rights. And then we have abstinence only approach, which is more fear based and educates adolescents against against sex, but doesn't include contraceptives and what have you. All right, so and we have four actors here. So let's assume the actor one, it's an NGO that promotes contraceptive use amongst adolescents, and actor three is a an NGO that promotes rights of sexual minorities, and we have actor two, which is a Christian based NGO, and actor four is an based um, Islamic based NGO. And obviously these are two religious NGOs, and these ones are not. Okay, so it is easy for these, based on their policy beliefs, it is easy for these two actors to form coalitions, which most often they do, to become stronger, to influence the policy goals, which will lean towards comprehensive sexuality education. And we have these two actors who, as we know, premarital sex is a sin in these two religions, and sexual minorities, having homosexual intercourse is also viewed as a sin. So these two actors also are it is easy, they don't have contradicting beliefs on this topic, so it is easy for them to form coalitions, which most often they do, to become stronger, to influence the policy goals that will lean towards abstinence only policy outcome or policy goal. So this is just a simple way for you to get what I mean when it comes to beliefs, actors, and forming coalitions in a policy subsystem. I must say here that sometimes the subsystem is not matured enough for you to see all the actors and even for them to form coalitions. This is because for some reason the policy issue that policymakers are resolving is new. But there are some policy subsystems that are very matured, that you can clearly see different coalitions battling to affect the policy goals, and this is where the politics actually happens. So to recap, what we did was we learned what the policy subsystem is, we learned who actors are, we learned their beliefs, and we learned coalitions. I have a little assignment, and the assignment for you is to observe the current policy issue policymakers are dealing with right now in your country or in your respective countries. It could be anything that you're interested in, and try to see if you can find the actors and what their beliefs are, and whether this issue have actors who have formed into coalitions. This ends our lesson for today. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe, even if you didn't subscribe anyway, so that you get a bell notification whenever I drop a lesson like this. Ciao.